Hi, I'm James Lipton. Welcome to the Heyman Hustle.
They say that the most prestigious stage for an actor to ever perform on is the grandest stage of them all, Broadway. But not every great performer on Broadway has his name up in lights, because that, my friends, is what you call the hustle.
The Heyman Hustle!
To be or not to be, forsooth, I'm on Broadway. Take a ticket, live show tonight.
On Inside the Actors Studio, you've had so many great guests that have always said that the majesty of Broadway and how all actors should aspire to perform on Broadway at least once. Is there any greater challenge for a performer than to star in a Broadway play?
I would say no. I'd say that the most satisfying experience by far is to appear on the stage, to create a role over a period of 4 to 6 weeks or longer, perhaps sometimes, and then to do it on an opening night on Broadway, and then to be able to do it again and again and again. And what happens is that over a period of time, the performance and the performer become one. You don't have to star in a Broadway play. You have to have the experience in a Broadway stage.
In this business, in this world, you can be who you are and get respected for talent. If you have something that you can display on where to everyone in New York City, if you got that drive, you should get respected for it. When you're an actor, you try to make it. You do the ins and the outs of the business that's required of you to be talent, not this over-the-top with image and all that other. And it's time to change this, and it can start today.
Laura Bell Bundy, you are the star of Legally Blonde here on Broadway. How much of an honor is it to star in a Broadway play?
Well, I mean, for me, it feels like an extreme honor. It was one of my dreams when I was a little kid growing up.
You were the star of another play called Ruthless.
Yeah.
And you had some very interesting understudies.
Yes.
Your understudies included Britney Spears and Natalie Portman.
Natalie just came to see the show this last Sunday. And I actually admire her work, and I think she's great, and she's a very, very intelligent woman, and we were really good friends as kids, so.
What is the greatest story you can tell about just the nerves of going onto the stage?
I actually don't get too nervous anymore. I mean, you know, if you do a show over 300 times, you're like, okay, well, I've done it. But like if the opening night, or your first time you do it in front of an audience, or your first time you do it in front of your peers, your New York audience, and you've got that feeling, or if you have a little stomach problem and you got to do the show with a stomach problem, that's happened to me before. That's always
Imodium has always worked for me, but that's just me.
I took a couple of those.
Come on now.
I told you, everyone on Broadway is a performer.
To be or not to be? That is the question. 'Tis nobler in the mind to watch Monday Night Raw or suffer the slings and arrows of the watered-down ECW. That is truly the question.
See, here's the best part. You don't really need to go to a play to experience Broadway theater. For on Broadway, the theater shall come to you. All the world is a stage, the bard taught us, and each one of us is but one of the hustlers.
Your balls are... Sorry, I messed it up. Well, if you really want to live and feel the way I feel, you've got to whip out your balls of steel. What's up, Naked Cowboy here, the biggest performer on Broadway. And I'm the Naked Cowboy. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Did you know that I, sir, have 21 years experience of performing in front of a live crowd?
And what does that consist of?
Professional wrestling. What's your hustle?
The Heyman Hustle!